Hey Cancer, this one is for you. This is Tarot Lumination, okay? Love and Relationship Report, June 2017, for you, dear Cancer, okay? And a significant other, a mystery person. Woo! You might know that person. Okay, so like I've been saying in the other reports, please watch the June Love and Relationship playlist, All Signs introduction, because it'll give you a better understanding of how the spread is working and why the spread is the way it is, okay? Also, please don't forget, read for your sun, moon, and rising. And also, please understand, I don't do reversals or anything, and this month I don't have any oracles, no jumpers, no flyers, no qualifiers, nothing. It's just going to be a very stripped down, bare bone, raw tarot, little mini crucible spread for love and relationship, okay? So we're going to get into it any moment now. I'm going to shuffle right up to the last second where I feel I have a clear deck, because I need to have a very clear deck. Well, we all do, okay? It's a constant process of cleaning and purifying, always cleaning out our spiritual air filters and lint filters, and cleaning out our spiritual oil filters and all of that stuff in order to live a happy life, especially in regard to relationships. All right, Cancer, just FYI, you are one of the signs, along with Capricorn, Aries, and Libra, or anybody with a significant axis or hotspot with Capricorn, Cancer, Aries, and Libra, who've been feeling it. And it shows up here in the numbers, people. I could see it. It actually shows up in all my back office work where I see all the numbers and everything. Some of the Cancers are really getting, I don't want to put a negative spin on it, but they have Pluto going through the 7th house, okay, of significant relationships. And it can be profoundly transformational for Cancerian. And Cancerians tend to be very mushy, soft, and tender. And when they have to go through such a kind of almost a grueling process of transformation, it can take a toll on dear Cancers because they're very, very sensitive. And of course, they will prevail. It's just that, who actually wants to have Pluto in retrograde in the 7th house, transiting your 7th house? Seriously, okay? I'm sorry, somebody wrote in a while ago about what happens if you don't know anything about astrology. Well, it doesn't really matter here on the tarot. All you really need to know is what's your sun sign, your moon sign, and rising sign. And there's ways you can do that. You can go to these, just Google it, what's my sun sign? And they'll send you a link to somewhere. You can just punch in your data when you were born, the hour and the minute, and it will spit out an app or a file or a link or something, and you just put the data, and magically, boom, you will know about your sun and your moon and your rising. So there you go. Easy peasy. All right, let's get rolling here, Cancer. This is for you. I think I said everything. I was talking too much. Oh my God. But I felt I had to add that extra qualifier for Cancers. So here we go. Let's just do this, all right? Sorry, I got so carried away there at the beginning. Blah, blah, blah. Astro babble this, tarot babble that. Let's just do it, all right? Here you go. Let's just say that's your energy, Cancer. And that's the other, okay? Your significant other or some significant other. And this is going deeper, okay? Let's have a look. And this is going deeper with the other. This is you and this is another. And this is the relationship, okay? Here, like a crucible, okay? And this is let's say the status of the relationship. And this is what that status, the momentum that it generates. And underneath, you have to deal with what I just think of as weather. It's just like what's around you. Because weather is not much you can do about it. It's just there, and then you adapt and you make the best of it. Okay, so for you, dear Cancer, you have the Page of Wands, which is really, really sweet. Okay, it might be you're in a you're in a very lucky, fortunate position right now. Perhaps you are, let's just admit it, naive going in. Like there might be a tremendous amount of spirited desire and ambition and aspiration to be all that in this relationship, and for them to be all that in this relationship with you, except that there's a lot of innocence here. In other words, like, there's a lot to learn. There's an awful lot to learn. There's a lot of potential growth here. And the desire and the intent is very pure and very innocent, okay? So in some ways, Cancer, you're very, very, very fortunate. Let's have a look. What's going on with you? Are you drunk with love? Are you completely like, is your head is your head completely spinning out with what's been happening, and you're left almost like stoned out of your box with what happened? Like, what the heck is going on here? What's actually going on? This could be like some people see, to me, this is almost something like the Einstein card, where it's like you've been tuning into the superconscious to the point where it isn't all about delusions and hallucinations. This is the real deal. You're dealing with the superconsciousness to the point where it's almost mind-boggling, having discovered that there's this whole world, like multiple parallel worlds out there for you, and that you're receiving a tremendous amount of divine inspiration from ways that were unexpected. This is the way I think of it. Is like, I was reading a little story once about Einstein, and yeah, we all know he's like a mathematical, like physics genius or something, and there's other guys like that now who have trumped all of him, and I don't know enough about that stuff to talk with any authority, but I think I was reading a story about when he read about, discovering like the laws of physics, E equals mc squared, whatever that means, but it's very, very important. He was just lying down in a boat in a lake staring at the sky, just almost like a stoner. Like, that guy's just like, wow, man. And he was just tripping out on himself, and he just received this amazing download from heaven, and all the ingredients of the equation just added all up and made sense. Like, take a bit of that, mixed with that, some of that, add that, swirl it around over here, and then poof, bam-o, whee, I got the answer. E equals mc squared. This can be the energy of divine inspiration that comes to an artist. This can be the energy of swimming in that energy field of divine inspiration that comes to artists. And it's a very trippy place to be, dear Cancer. And if you're feeling a little bit like, is this for real, baby? Like, it's okay. It's okay to be tripped out over yourself. Like, wow, it's almost like, can you imagine what it must have felt like for Einstein to actually discover E equals mc squared and realize he's not insane? Can you imagine what that's like? Imagine that in a relationship where, like, I've tapped into something freaking amazing. You won't believe this, people. You have no idea what's going on. Guess what? I'm going to tell you, because I've discovered something amazing. Well, let's have a look. Let's come down to earth here a little bit, Cancer. What's going on with the other? Ding, 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 ding. Ew. You're dealing with someone who might have the energy of like a wish come true. And it sounds, look at all these cups. It's just like, these two people are totally nuts. They're totally goo-goo nuts in like, whatever's going on with this nutty Cancer person here. It's just like, it's almost like this giddy turn on over here for the other one in a much more organized and grounded, stable understanding. that makes total sense to them, where as far as they're concerned, this is cool. This is really effing cool. It's almost like I knew this existed. I wanted this. I deserve this. Wow. I got it. I got it. I got it. Well, it's a little bit loopy-loo energy here. This is almost like drunk on love type of energy. Okay, so just be very careful, Cancer. You don't want to end up just like flat on your face, covered in your own puke and vomit from just having just enjoyed yourself too much. I don't think they're going to let that happen to you. I think the other person is very sweet and very well intended, and they're just enjoying the moment of seeing you become turned on by what's happening in this relationship. So that's really kind of cute. I would say that's almost kind of beautiful. Really, I mean, seriously, think about it. It's so, well, look at this innocence here. Imagine the other party coming into the relationship, knowing perhaps over decades or lifetimes that there was something that they wished for, and naively entering into the relationship. Oh my God, they discovered, oh my God, it's real. This kind of thing is real. I had no idea. This kind of loopy love is real. I don't know if it's stable or balanced or not, but it's just awesomely, awesomely good. Okay, I don't think this is really going to apply to everybody for all cancers. I'm just giving you my spin on it. Okay, this might be a Cancerian who's completely out of their freaking box. Okay, completely way out on the deep end. They're so far out, they don't have to get stoned or drunk to be who they are. They are just that far out there. Okay, and maybe you're just digging it. I don't know. So anyway, let's go deeper, Cancer. What's going on with you? Oh, that's beautiful. It's just like it's a reality check. It's just like it's just like all this super spacey, multi-dimensional type energy that's going on here seems to be coming down to earth in such a way that it's being harmonized and balanced, and you actually feel it in your body. Because of this, let's just call it energy of resonance. It's very, to me, it's almost hilarious. It's like loopy love. It's like, you know, when like a dog meets its owner and they haven't seen each other for a while. And the dog goes absolutely berserk and they start tripping up and chasing their tail and zooming around in a circle. And the other one goes like, oh my God, I love you too. I love you so much. And you end up falling on the ground, rolling around in the mud with them. And you don't realize how idiotic you look to other people. But anyway, that's kind of cute. But it seems like going deeper with you, Cancer, it seems like despite all this, like, well, not despite, but beyond all of this trippy, cool, weird stuff, you might just be realizing like, my God, this is actually cool. It actually kind of works. It's reciprocal. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, we're a little bit out of balance. Like the other one, they've got it really, really locked down with love. They know about love. They know what it is, and they feel that their wish is granted. They're not going to like go completely nuts like I am. They totally get it, and they are participating like I am, but they come in with very, very different energy. It is love, and it's a very well balanced. I mean, there's a lot of cups here, a lot of cups there, but they just express themselves in very different ways. But it ends up that, dear Cancer, you seem to be feeling like it's like a really reciprocal give and receive type energy where without judging yourself too harshly, if you would just accept that you might be one of those Cancerians who's just totally out there and you're not being judged for it, you might be actually being appreciated for it because the other person might be thinking, that's exactly what I wanted and I didn't know it even existed, but I know now, and let's see what's happening. Okay. So it might feel to you when you come back down to earth in your periods of like stabilizing that you've pretty much struck gold, where it's just like, um, wow, I invest energy and in the form of this, all this loopy stuff, and that's wonderful. And in return, I am reciprocated and they invest and receive. So like, it's just like what we do sometimes on the live shows where I get all excited about the healing power of love. And you start like realizing, seeing like this is real. This is actually real. Like when I do my little chants to myself and it says like, I am loving, I am loved. I am loving, I am loved. Wow, that's cool. Be loving, be loved. You feel like freaking Einstein. You feel like, oh my God, I have to tell everybody because this is what it feels like. It's reciprocal and it feels amazing. And that's very, very cool. It's almost like a secret formula. It's like E equals MC squared, but we're doing it with the healing power of love. The formula is be loving, be loved. I am loving, I am loved. Who knew? It was there all the time. It was there all the time, just staring at the whole world. Who knew? Let's have a look. What's going on deeper inside of them? Okay, for the other party in this bizarre situation, it might be triggering a sensation of like, holy fuck, what the hell is happening? What the, like the whole foundations of my world, as much as I might have wished for this, okay, that's very, very cool. And like, yeah, if I'm honest with myself, I am pretty happy about things. However, there are consequences here because it's leading to a whole complete like wipeout, obliteration of some fundamental concepts and understandings that were like, I thought were rock solid in my life and my world. And all of a sudden, all of that is in jeopardy to the point where it's probably beyond jeopardy. It's already like coming crashing down. Oh, F you. Oh, uck. Oh my God. Like, and you know what they say? I have to say I'm laughing a lot at this reading because it seems kind of joyful to me. It's just like, dear person, whoever is engaging with this Cancer, it's wonderful that you're getting what you wish for, but did you ever hear of that expression? Be careful what you wish for, because it may be coming true. And it's just that in the beauty and the harmony and simplicity of this pure, pure love, it's actually translating into something cataclysmic in terms of change. And as your reader here, dear Cancer, I often interpret this card as one of the ultimate cards of ultimate healing, because as everything comes crashing down that is no longer valid or supportive of your ultimate highest good, dear other person, in this reading with this Cancer person, then if it's not systematically being taken down in an orderly way, then it will feel like fate is taking it down for you. And that can be cataclysmic, almost shocking, almost beautiful, but frightening at the same time, like being a young kid who walks out into a huge thunderstorm for the first time because of the amazement and the beauty and the power. And instead of being terrified, they're absolutely delighted. It's still terrifying, but in their naivety and their innocence and their purity of hopes and inspiration of what could manifest, they see it as amazing. And that's the healthy way to look at the Tower for the other person, in such a way that they might be going through some kind of cataclysmic event for themselves, where foundations are crumbling and falling apart. But that's the process of what I think of as your reader. I call it like revealing to healing. That which you resist. I can't remember the little phrase that I used. The more you resist the need for healing, the more the need for healing persists. Okay? Now you could translate that because I'm very into the healing arts myself. I like energy healing and things. So you could say that's something to do with this, but you could turn it into transformational healing, which is taking it above and beyond, which is where you're tapping into this like 5D, 7D, 8 dimension type of energy stuff, where you could say the same thing. The more you resist the need for transformation, the more the need for transformation persists. Okay, and that's not with you, Cancer. That's more to do with the other party. Okay, so you're kind of off the hook here a little bit, and you can allow them to live through their own experience in the context of relationship. And so let's just see what happens in that context. Okay, uh, so. Before I move on, sorry, Cancer, with this card, with the energy of the other, this is very powerful energy. So you might have to allow that the other may show symptoms of going through cataclysmic meltdowns in some way or other that might not be as joyful and pretty as I have described. I'm trying to put the most positive spin possible on here, because in the process of things crashing down, it opens the gateway to healing. Okay, that's my positive spin. But still, as things come crashing down, it can feel very traumatic for people. All right, so please allow for that, Cancer, in this relationship dynamic. You might be dealing with somebody, again, the whole relationship being infused with innocent, passionate, like inspirational desires, ambitions, and goals for the relationship. And it's felt and observed and appreciated by both parties. However, their experience in living through the relationship may be extremely different from your experience of living in the relationship, okay? And yet it's all happening in the context of the relationship. Let's just have a look at the status, okay? Gulp. It looks like there might be something to celebrate here. I don't want to get too heavy into this. Some people see this as the marriage card. Okay, it's almost like an engagement type energy. It's just like where it might be just your wishful thinking. You might be totally cuckoo, out of your freaking box, dear Cancer. And you're understanding that there is all this amazing stuff going on. You accept it, you get it, and you're understanding how when you get real and you lock it down and you kind of come down to earth, that there is this lovely energy of generosity and appreciation and gratitude between yourself and another. And they understand the same thing in reverse and reciprocal. And that can lead you perhaps to be absolutely cuckoo out of your mind with the idea of celebrating, to the point where you might want to say, like, do you mind if would you like to go to a shop with me? I'd like to, oh, well, I'm just going to tell you, I want to get you a ring. Do you mind? And maybe we could celebrate and, let's put a ring on it. You want to get engaged type of thing? Cancerians, are you looking to get engaged despite all this crazy stuff with the other person? Are you being a little bit innocent and a little bit naive and delusional about this? We don't know, but obviously the energy is there. This is the status of the relationship. The relationship itself is carrying the energy of engagement and marriage and the celebration of the joy of what each party has. And in a traditional sense, that would make sense. That would be an indication of appreciation, even though it's still very naive and young and innocent in its unfolding, let's say. It has the hallmarks that could lead to this type of relationship where it is mutually appreciated, there's mutual love, let's just say mutual love, and it's worth it to go to the point where you want to lock it down, make it for real in a very, very old-fashioned manner. And some people just call that a wedding or a marriage or an engagement. And I don't blame you, Cancer. If you think you've got that special one and they think you've got they've got somebody special. And even though you might be extremely different in the way that um, you appreciate each other, there is a high degree of harmony and reciprocation here. And despite what is ever going on with the other, it's all for the ultimate healing of the other, okay? Because this is your energy over here. You remember, Cancer, this is your reading for you, and this is more about the energy of the other person, even though they are reading with you in the context of relationship. It's still your reading for you, Cancer. Where does it lead? Well, there might be, it might lead, like, because of this and this being linked, there might be a like a separation in some form or other, where, how to put this, where the crystallized truth of a matter is occurring, where in order, let's put it this way, in order for this element of the relationship to prosper and persist, it might need that there is another aspect to the relationship dynamics between the two parties involved where a separation has to occur. And it could be these, it's almost like the energies are happening simultaneously as this energy of fruition and abundance and glowing kind of like celebratory happiness in a marriage type dynamic is happening at the same time as an awareness that there has to be a separation occurred. Now, dear Cancer, it might be that in order to tap into all of this, you have to formally separate yourself from a significant other to whom you have been holding a torch and martyring yourself and truly, truly loving in your own way, but which is no longer serving you or the greater picture in life for you or anybody. And we could say exactly the same thing for the other party. In other words, for this beautiful energy to unfold here, from its youthful innocence and aspirations, it might mean that the other party, in order to enjoy all of this, has to endure this. And it's happening simultaneously. And that can happen in triangle situations, which is very, very common. It's very, very common that people are already, let's just say, somebody else's. And what do you do with that? And because honestly, like I see it from here, like people will, even if they're actually separated, they'll come and ask for a reading as though they're still actually deep in a relationship and they don't understand that the bonding has broken and it's already time to move on. And so people are very, very good at fooling themselves as to what's actually happening versus what they think or feel is happening. Now, in this little reading here, I see a lot of equilibrium and balance because it looks like there's so much love between you and another, and that there is something cataclysmic going on over here for the other. But the status of the relationship itself is really beautiful to the point that where it needs to be celebrated and understood and shared. The sad thing is that it might be that these two energies are connected here, and that the other party may be going through some kind of cataclysmic separation with something that already existed. It's quite different from you, from your energy, dear Cancer, because you may already be separated and available, so to speak, even though you may have loved very passionately in the past, okay? And you're still very passionately loving now. But either way, there is an energy of separation that has to occur in order for this to occur. And that is just the momentum of what's happening here. And that can be very, very stark for whichever party. So it's very, very beautiful in its own way. It's But in order to like tap in and enjoy the love and the beauty and the abundance here that seems to be very, very clearly evident, it also implies that something very, very healing has to occur. And it might be that in this cataclysmic event, what might appear to be very, very devastating, what would appear to everyone else as a divorce type of dynamic, it actually becomes like very powerfully transformationally healing. Okay, so that's the spin I'm giving it to you guys now, Cancer. We'll see how it pans out. I'm going to leave it at that. Please read for your sun, moon, and rising. Please watch the little June love and relationship all sign playlist to get the broader scoop and understanding about the how and why we're using this crucible spread. Okay, so all the best in June, dear Cancer. Your birthday month is coming up, by the way. Woohoo! All right. See you soon. Bye, Cancer.